Agatha All Along is finally here, and Marvel thought that what better way to get people hyped about your show than with a 5-hour ASMR stream on a loop. Down, down, down the witch's road. This was their way to get people hyped for the show. I've never heard of ASMR. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I watched a little bit of that ASMR stream. It was terrible, but I wanted to see what it was about. Episode 1 of Agatha All Along starts off with a depressed, disheveled, truly sad Agatha driving on her way to the crime scene while humming the tune of Down the Witch's Road, which is going to be like the main theme or tune of the series. But in this scene, it's an extremely sad version of it. She looks like she's about to cry. She then gets to the crime scene and she walks up to her partner, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a complete bitch to him. Seriously. For no reason. She's just a bitch for no reason.
I just set them loose and it was combustible.
Actually, I think the reason is that she's incredibly depressed, sad, and unhappy with her life, like we saw in the opening scene.
Women are my priority.
Surprised to see you out here, detective.
There I was, sitting on my duff, playing Candy Crush, happy as a clam.
Yes, Candy Crush, the game popularized by women over the age of 35. I'm loving this so far.
Hibernation's over. Got a case only you can solve. Direct quote.
And they walk through the woods up to a body, and the body only had one thing on her.
This was all she had on her.
What's this? From a library book?
Westview Branch.
Yeah, the only thing she had on her was a card that shows that she checked out a book from the library. I guess nobody else on the force could go to the library and investigate this one piece of information. They needed to call in Agnes because only she could solve this case.
Listen, I don't know.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
Not much of a drop around here. She fall?
She was crushed.
By what?
Something big.
So it's been a while since I've watched WandaVision, and truth be told, I didn't even finish that show. But I do know that this is actually her neighbor. This is her neighbor. I had to actually look that up because I completely forgot about it. Anyways, let's keep going. So they walk up to this corpse. This corpse has been crushed by something, and looking at the fingers, it looks like this is the Scarlet Witch. She's been crushed. So I'm assuming that this ties into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Do not know how she got here, but I mean, look at her fingers. That is the Scarlet Witch. Oh, she's extremely troubled. How did she even see that?
Find something?
Nah. She was extremely troubled by that woman's body. You would think that any type of evidence that she finds would be crucial. She picks it up with her bare hands, by the way. I don't think that that is police procedure. You're not supposed to pick things up with your bare hands, especially something that might be evidence in a case that disturbs you on a deep emotional level. I mean, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. If you found a brooch, I would think that that would be in connection with the body that is lying a few feet from you. Again, she's very deeply disturbed by seeing this woman's body on a deeply personal level. You can hear it in her voice, but not that disturbed, right? Because she did find some evidence and then hide it in her pocket. I don't know why this is upsetting to me, but it is.
Bitch.
I know that this is all in her mind, right? Because we know that the Scarlet Witch put her under a spell in her mind. So I know that this is all in her mind and it's not actually happening, but still, I'm upset by it. Then her partner sees her crying over this dead body. Again, I don't know why this body has such an emotional impact on her, but it does. He sees her crying over this dead body and he asks her if she's okay. And for whatever reason, she's really upset that he had the audacity to ask her if she's okay and gets like this bad attitude towards him. Seriously, she's crying over this corpse. Her partner sees this and all he's doing is asking her if she's okay.
You okay, Agnes?
How do you mean?
You don't seem like yourself.
Oh, yeah? I'll try to be more cheerful for you next time, Herb.
Bitch.
Seriously, I would have been like, okay, bitch, sorry I even asked. We get the opening credits and then we get a scene that was ripped out of Miss Congeniality. Seriously, this character that she's portraying right now in her head, this police character, it is ripped straight out of Miss Congeniality, straight from Gracie Hart. From the hair, the clothes, the bag that she carries, every single thing is Gracie Hart. Except Gracie Hart is actually likable in that movie. She gets along with all of her coworkers and she just wants to contribute to the cases that she's on. Whereas Agnes's character character, she just comes off as really unlikable. Like, she's got a stick up her ass and just a bad attitude about everything. So the part that they ripped off from Miss Congeniality is when Gracie goes to the Starbucks. She's getting a coffee order and she pushes her way to the front of the line, flashing her FBI badge as she does so. And in Agatha all along, they try to do the same thing, but it doesn't really make that much sense.
Official police business. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Seriously, it doesn't make sense here. How many times have you gone to a library and seen a line that long? There's a reason it made sense in Miss Congeniality, because it's at a Starbucks in New York. Notoriously long freaking lines. But this is a library in a small town. Seriously. It shouldn't have a line that long where she has to like use the fact that she's a police officer working on a case to move to the front of the line. It makes absolutely no sense. Then unlikable Agnes has a problem with this lady as well. It's almost as if she's playing the role extremely masculine right now. And for whatever reason, masculine means I'm gonna be an asshole to everybody.
Only suckers wait their turn.
Who's the victim? She dead?
Now, why do you assume it's a woman?
I don't know. Sounds more titillating.
Ooh, titillating.
There are no names on here.
But there are dates.
We don't use cards.
Seriously, down to the way she is chewing. It is Gracie Hart. Gracie Hart chews with her mouth open. She is channeling Gracie Hart in this role, but just more unlikable.
Well, thanks a bunch for your help, Dottie. You've been an absolute angel. Where were you last night between the hours of 1 and 3 a.m.?
What the fuck? What was that? And all of this stuff is taking place in her mind, so maybe she's just harassing this woman at her place of work. I really don't know.
Oh, can you?
Why is she such a bitch?
Dialogue and Rhetoric, Known History of Learning and Debate by Andrew Ugo.
Yeah, I'm thinking erotic thriller.
Titillating erotic thriller. Yes, you could totally tell that this was probably written by women who read a lot of erotica.
This book wasn't checked out, it was stolen. But we have plenty more copies in natural sciences. Now if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, I'll excuse you.
Why is she being a bitch? Seriously, if you want assistance with somebody, why on earth would you treat them like shit? So then Agatha goes to look for the other copies of this book that was checked out to see what exactly it was all about. I assume since she thinks it's an erotic book, she, wants a copy to go read it on her own. I don't know. But then she finds the stack of books and discovers that it's been completely burned.
There was a fire.
Who the hell is that? This would be my main suspect right here. For whatever reason, she doesn't treat him like shit. She actually asks him questions. Why didn't you take him in for questioning? Clearly, he is making you uneasy and has been waiting there for somebody to show up. You would think that that would be your number one suspect right there.
Listen, I don't know.
Morning, Detective.
This is just really making me want to watch Miss Congeniality. It's a much better movie with a more likable character. So Agnes tells the police chief what she saw at the library, just nonchalant, like she's talking about lunch. Hey, someone took a flamethrower to the library books. And the police chief doesn't give a fuck. And then we get this gem of dialogue between the two characters.
You got a spot on your shirt.
Oh.
And your tie.
Christ.
You making breakfast smoothies again, Chief?
So stupid. See, this is what happens when you have a crap TV show and you just need dialogue to take up some airtime.
We assume she's been moved.
There were
Ah, yeah, sit down, masculine energy. Ah, stretch it out, girl. I imagine she's man-spreading underneath the desk as well.
Women are my priority.
We're then introduced to Aubrey Plaza's character. Agnes is very upset that she has shown up because her boss told her that this is a case that only she can solve. How dare you doubt her skills as a policewoman and a detective? She can solve this crime on her own. She doesn't need help from the FBI.
Fancy dirt always attracts the attention of the feds.
I'm not even gonna lie, we're less than 10 minutes into this episode and I already had to take a break. I went and had some lunch. Now I'm back. Let's finish this up.
Strength in numbers. Teamwork makes the
Eat
dream-
my ass, Chief.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll leave you to it then.
ah, yes, the famous eat my ass line. The line that every Marvel fan wanted.
Women are my priority.
Seriously, what are you doing though? You just got back from suspension and your first instinct is to yell at the boss and tell him to
Eat my ass, Chief.
I'm getting sleepy.
I'll leave you to it then.
Yeah, you beta bitch. Walk out. She's mad at you.
It's been a long time.
What the hell? That was like 10 seconds of silence. It was nothing but silence. She took her time walking from the door to the couch. This is the best Marvel TV show ever produced. Don't forget.
My job here is done.
We then have a conversation between Agnes and Aubrey Plaza's FBI character, and there seems to be a history there between the two of them.
You want to take control of my investigation?
If you want to be in control, you can be.
Tempting, tempting.
The body
Oh, she started stuttering after that. She totally messed with her female brain.
was moved across state lines. Is that your play?
Is this really how you see yourself?
Now, we know that this character is a witch as well from like the previews and everything. So the fact that she asked Agnes, like, is this really how you see yourself? And she's kind of mocking her, sort of playing along with this little fantasy that she's surrounded herself in. But then like later on in this episode, it makes no sense why she's playing along with Agnes at this point. So they talk about the case a little bit, and Aubrey Plaza tells her that, you know, this body just magically appeared, and Agnes says this.
Let's stick to reality here, yeah?
Really pushing the idea that she is just completely trapped in her own mind right now. Agnes proceeds to tell her that, you know, you're being ridiculous. It's not magic. The secrets lie within the town and the secrets that the town has. I really don't understand how that pertains to this specific case. And then the fact that she says like these types of cases, as if it's very common to find a woman's body that has been crushed by something enormous in the middle of the woods. So Aubrey Plaza plays along with her and says, you know, who's better to solve this case than you? You've lived here your whole life, so obviously you know exactly how to handle this case. So she gets upset and asks her to leave. It's obvious that there's a relationship between these two people. We just don't know what it is yet. And now I think we're at a pawn shop or something. She's getting the brooch, the evidence. Okay, look, this is evidence. She found it at a crime scene and she's getting it analyzed by this person who works, I think, at a pawn shop. I feel like I'm thinking way too hard right now.
And it's a beaut. Where'd you get it?
Mind your beeswax, Norm. Where's it from? How old is it?
Yeah, mind your beeswax, Norm. I'm gonna be a bitch to you even though I'm asking you for help.
North American? New England, maybe? Late 17th century, I guess. It's made...
For someone who works at just a pawn shop, he knows a great deal by just looking at this thing under a magnifying glass.
from cowrie shell.
What's a cowrie?
Sea snail. Maiden. Mother. Crone.
What, no working professional goddess? Women are my priority.
How does he even know that? He works in a pawn shop.
Good to see you too, Agnes.
Seriously, dude, you can call her what she is. You're welcome, you bitch. After that, Agatha goes back to the office. She's there late at night, and she's trying to unravel the mystery of this library card. After thinking very hard with her woman brain, she finally figures out the mystery. The first letter of every word in the title of the book spells out Darkhold. Oh, I think she's got it. She figured it out.
Go home, Agnes.
Home? You can't send her home. She's clearly figured out something extremely important to the case and must report it to the chief right away. She needs to let him know what she's found.
Hey.
Go home.
Or just ignore it. We then see Agatha go home to her completely dark, empty house.
Women are my priority.
The music accompanying this is a depressing version of Down the Witch's Road, which is like the main theme to this whole show. We then finally get like a little bit of mystery, a little something interesting in this. She walks up to this door, opens it, peeks through, and it's a child's room. Maybe while she's under this spell, under Wanda's spell, Wanda also included it in there just to torture her even more, that she lost a child, because I'm assuming that this is a child's room. That was actually kind of good.
What?
That's how you answer your door? What? Clearly I'm having an emotional breakdown in my house. How dare you disturb me? The person who's at her door happens to be none other than Aubrey Plaza's character. Have they given her a name? If they did, I totally missed it. So yeah, Aubrey Plaza, the FBI detective, is at her door. Surprise, with pizza. And then they proceed to have a conversation over pizza, laughing at a woman cop, a rookie woman cop, and her shitty detective work.
Did you learn anything? And she says that I was totally using the wrong foundation brush.
Wow, that's quite the man spread she's doing on the couch right there.
Anyway.
What is it with these moments of silence? I don't feel any tension between these two characters. Surely you're meant to feel like there's tension between them, but it doesn't come across that way. It just comes across like really awkward. They're still quiet. Wow.
I have a lead in the case.
Oh, finally, someone spoke.
That's not why I came over.
Oh my gosh, this is so boring. It's very boring. Absolutely nothing has happened. Nothing. The one thing that happened was that she figured out the first letter of the title of the book spelled out Darkhold. That's it. That is all that has happened so far. So Agatha tells FBI, I'm just going to call her FBI. I have no idea what her name is, honestly. I no clue. Nor do I care. She tells her that she has a lead in the case. They found like a car in a car accident. 2 airbags deploy. She thinks that there's 2 perps, but then it doesn't sit right with her. And then they get into this deep conversation.
Do you remember why you hate me?
Nothing? You got nothing?
No.
Nope.
Are you hiding evidence?
No.
You lying bitch. I need a nap. Seriously, I'm really tired. So they're done with the conversation. She has no idea why she's mad at her. She just knows that she's mad at her. She hears a noise, and this is the first time that we are introduced to the character of Teen.
That it's just for like straight white men. It's not.
She finds him breaking into her house. He steals the brooch, goes out of a 2nd-story window, and then we are treated to the worst police chase in history.
Don't move! Freeze! Oh!
She wasn't even that far off the ground. She could have just let go and been fine.
Stop! Please! Don't you run from me!
Hey! He threw 1 can. He didn't even knock over like all of there were plenty of cans that he could have knocked over. He just knocked over 1. And she almost hits it. She had plenty of time to avoid the trash can, but she still ran towards the trash can. If this car hadn't shown up and hit this kid, he would have gotten away. He totally would have gotten away. Look how far away she is.
Oh my God. He came out of nowhere.
I already know that this is going to be my favorite character in the show. I already know it. Of course, it was an old woman driver that hit the pedestrian.
Well, that was horrifying.
Ma'am, get back in your vehicle. You alive? Good, because I'm arresting you now.
So now she's just going to arrest him. He was hit by a car. Nothing? You're not going to call the ambulance? Nope. All right. Agatha goes into the interrogation room and starts interrogating him.
What were you looking for in my house?
The respect of your peers in a fulfilling home life. But you were fresh out of both.
Women are my priority.
And the interrogation doesn't go very well.
Asleep in bed. Total loser or totally lying? Let's find out.
What the fuck was that?
My job here is done.
So things around Agatha start to fall apart. She starts seeing things as they are and not as she's supposed to be seeing them within her mind. Teen asks her why she keeps looking at a painting, and what she was seeing in her mind was that it was a 2-way mirror. And then he starts to chant at her, and she starts to get really freaked out and handcuffs him and like puts him in a cell. She then proceeds to go to the morgue, but inside the morgue there's nobody there, not even the body that she was investigating. And then she closes her eyes and says, well, no, it has to be here. I remember the body. And then the body appears. She walks up to the body, and then instead of the toe tag being an actual toe tag, it's like the library card that she's been focused on this whole episode. And then the toe tag says W. Maximoff, and FBI appears out of nowhere.
Case closed then?
FBI tells her she's a witch, she's dead with all the copies of the Darkhold, and that Agatha has been left trapped in her spell, and that she needs to crawl out of the spell. Agatha starts getting really hot and starts removing all of her clothing, and then we get like this scene that's actually kind of cool. It goes through all of her characters from WandaVision, and she has to like remove all of these WandaVision character skins in order to get back down to who she is, Agatha.
Is that hot?
I'm hot.
It says naughty. Her ass says naughty. You can't see it because I'm covering it up. We're going to see more of her ass later. Don't worry about it.
What?
I like when she goes back to her 1950s characters. The first smile that we got from her. This is actually the one I prefer. Keep me in the 50s. Agatha has finally broken free of the spell, which is fortunate for her, but unfortunate for us, because in order for her to break free, she had to strip completely naked. And we are treated to a naked Catherine Hahn. Yes, she runs outside in full view of all of her neighbors, just completely naked.
What is going on?
He is literally having the reaction that every single person watching this show is having. He then tells her that she's been trapped here in 3 years. Within those 3 years, she's been going through like different personalities. Her most recent one being that he thought that she was on like a true crime kick, which makes sense because women do make up a large part of the true crime audience. So he lets her know that she's been trapped for 3 years. She gets really upset about it. And then we get this weird scene.
Checking up on you.
Oh my God.
Just do something.
Oh, I get it.
Just get her in.
I don't understand why they wanted to put this in there. This kid is like really excited to see a naked Agatha. The mom tries to cover her eyes, but she's trying to grab her mom's hand and like remove it from her eyes so she can still look at it. It's the weirdest scene. I don't understand why it was included, but it was. Anyways, you discover that the neighbors were actually trying to, humor Agatha.
This is where hope goes to die.
How dare you try to clothe me? We're then treated to a nice shot of non-toned ass.
Yeah. Can you put on some clothes?
I swear that man is the entire audience watching this show. Agatha goes inside her house and discovers that she has no magic at all. None. She then hears a noise coming from upstairs and finds Teen.
So that arrest was maybe more of a kidnapping.
Damn. It's one way to make an entrance. So Aubrey Plaza's character has returned, and I have to ask myself, if this is a witch with a grudge against Agatha, who now wants to fight Agatha because a fight ensues, like there's some hatred between these two witches, why didn't she kill her when she had the chance, when she was under Wanda's spell? She's clearly vulnerable. Why didn't you take her out then?
You're vulnerable.
But she was vulnerable before. I don't understand why she didn't kill her when she was under the spell. We then find out that she actually can't kill Agatha for whatever reason. It's like another mystery that needs to be solved later because there's a relationship between these two that we don't know about. Agatha then proceeds to gaslight Aubrey Plaza's character. I still don't know her name. Saying, hey, let me regain my power. Let me restore myself to how I was before. Because if you kill me now, you're just killing a weak person. Like, it's not really the Agatha you really want to go after, right? I'm not at my full power. It's really stupid logic, and I don't know why she agrees to it. Clearly, a few minutes ago, she had absolutely no problem trying to drive a knife into Agatha's throat because she's weak and without powers. But now she tries to gaslight her into thinking, this isn't what you really want. You really want to fight an Agatha that actually has powers.
Admit it. You prefer me.
Horizontal? In a grave?
I thought she was going to go somewhere else with that horizontal thing. I imagine the Marvel fans who enjoy shows like Agatha all along want to see them both horizontal.
Okay, Agatha.
That's so stupid. Why don't you just kill her now? There's nothing more that I love seeing is a toxic relationship. Aubrey's character tells her that the Salem 7 are after her and they're coming at sundown. Who are the Salem 7? The worst of the worst. That's it. That's all we get. They are the worst of the worst. I have no idea who the Salem 7 are, but they are after Agatha for, I don't know why. They don't say.
You don't have a heart.
Yes, I do. It's black, and it beats for you.
You know, a lot of people are going to love that scene. She licks her hand and it cures her. She just had to run her tongue across it. So Aubrey Plaza's character leaves. Agatha looks over and notices that Teen is still there.
Oh, right. You.
And that's it. The show ends. Honestly, the first episode was boring. Nothing that happened really mattered because it was all happening in Agatha's mind. I could understand if she was trapped under Wanda's spell and she had like this new identity, this new job, and everything that she was doing within the community actually mattered because she's just a resident going about her day. But it was all in her mind. She was just some crazy lady living alone in her house, running around naked.
Women are my priority.
The whole episode for me was just a nothing burger. Nothing really happened because everything took place in her head. So none of it really matters. The only things that really matter are the appearance of Teen and Aubrey Plaza's character, who I still don't know the name of. And also Aubrey Plaza's characters, like her motivations are very weird because she helps her break free from this spell. She helps her figure out who she is, even though she has all of the intention to kill her, but she's helping her. So I really don't understand what her true intentions are. The only things that really matter in this episode take place in like the last, 7 minutes. But what do I know? This is the best Marvel TV show ever produced. Maybe I'm just a hater, but episode 1 was trash.